Hi, my name's Steve Wallace. This is my personal intro video for EDL 856 School Community Relations. You'll notice that on all my posts it's going to say Robert Wallace, but I go by my middle name Steve. I'm the sixth Robert in the family. We all have different middle names, and then my little man gave him the name Noah as well. And so a little bit about me besides that. Who am I? I was born and raised in Olathe, Kansas, suburb of Kansas City. This is my family in this picture. There's Noah. He's 2, be 3 in June. Then we got Addie, who's 4, going to be 5. Or I'm sorry, he'll be 3 in July. She'll be 5 in June. She'll be starting kindergarten. And my wife Ann, she's holding up a picture of our house that we bought over the summer when I took a job at Gardner Edgerton High School, also a suburb of Kansas City. I got my undergrad in secondary education social studies from KU and my master's in physical education sports studies. I'm certified to teach PE, health, social studies, and psychology. Where do I work? I work at Gardner Edgerton High School as a PE teacher, PE 1, PE 2. I've also taught social studies, basically everything in social studies besides American history I've taught. My favorite was AP Human Geography with freshmen. We got to hit on a lot of really cool topics in there. This is my first year at Gardner Edgerton. It's a 6A school, which is the highest in Kansas, about 1,700 students. We're about 80% white, 20% people of color. 9% of that 20 is Hispanic. About 1 in 3 students is on free and reduced lunch. We have around a 97-98 graduation rate, and we've done above average on state testing. Previously, I was at Shawnee Heights High School as social studies mostly, did a couple PE classes. Before that, I was an assistant for the women's basketball team at KU. Before that, I was at Piper as a social studies teacher, and also the head boys basketball coach at Shawnee Heights and Piper. At Tennessee Tech, I was an assistant women's basketball coach. Rhode Island, director of basketball operations for their women, and back at KU as a grad assistant. Did a few other things in between. So my path in teaching has been a little different than a lot of people that just started in teaching. What I believe is important with school and community relations, I think it's important to over-communicate with all people involved, students, parents, and community members. You need to use lots of different methods because in this day and age, depending on the age, depending on the socioeconomic status of different people, people use different communication methods. So calls, texts, emails, using different types of apps. We use the Remind app at Gardner Edgerton quite a bit, although Verizon's no longer very compatible with the Remind app, so we're probably going to be looking for a new one. Also uses of social media and newsletters. We need part of that relationship too is getting the community in your doors, and that includes your typical sports and plays and musicals and all that, but also to get them in as guest speakers, honoring military at Gardner Edgerton. For Veterans Day, we did a really cool thing where we brought in veterans and had a big assembly, and I thought that was a great way to reach out to the local community. For our boys basketball team, we have raising money for cancer research, and we have a cancer survivor walk where we invite different people from the community that are cancer survivors to celebrate that. All those little things, build up to have good relationships with your community. Provide opportunities for the community to communicate with you, and this is sometimes the most difficult and scariest for administrators. I know some administrators have morning coffee open to the public where they can come in and ask questions or whatever they would like to do during that time. Also, this is probably really scary for administrators, but open up on your social media page where there can be comments, which is a pretty typical way for people to communicate these days. Ideas that I can improve as far as communicating with students, admin, and parents currently as a teacher, just more communication, and as far as that goes, you can never do enough, I don't think, and sometimes it seems to always be negative. Also want to have that positive stuff when a student does something great or you're doing something cool in your classroom. You want to let people know that, or if a group of students is doing great, whatever that might be. Try to get that out, as well as when you have to take care of maybe the not so happy things. And then just try some new methods of communication, whether that's a new app or starting our administration really wants us to try to start a Twitter page or an Instagram or something like that students can follow and see pictures of themselves working hard in the classroom. So that is my personal video for this class. A little bit about me, a little bit about how I got to where I am, and then what I think of the community relationship part as an administrator. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to having a great time in this class. Thank you.